Good. All right, generally we start with the alphabet. Few rules: keep your computer, your device, whatever you are using, muted, and unmute when you need to speak. You could stop me at any time, unmute yourself, ask your questions, make your comments, okay? So we start with the alphabet to begin with. I have 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds as well. And we do the letter sound. Now there are 5 vowels, and each vowel carries 2 sounds. However, in doing the alphabet here, we are dealing with what is called short vowel sound. So here A says A, and E says E, I says I, O, E, I, O says A, and U also says A. So, and that's the short sounds. So you have to tell the children when you reach the U and O that they make the same sounds. Now, and we have pictures here, and the reason for pictures is children could identify the pictures. When we say B, we tell them B says ba, and you could tell them right away that this is a capital B and a common B. Have your children write the letters, please. It would help them to remember it. You could write it and they could trace it for those who cannot write it. And then they say B as in books, I'm sorry, B as in books, B as in balloon, B as in ball, B as in bat. For the older children, you could ask them, or even the younger ones, you could take them on a little walk in your kitchen, in your house, in your school, wherever, and ask them to identify things that begin with the B sound, or when you are teaching B. But let's say they walk around your kitchen cupboard with food, and it has lots of things they could identify. So when they go to something beginning with C, they could say K, they could say B, say the word. This is a cake, they see a cake, they see a cup, they see a plate. So when they see the plate, what sound this plate begins with? P. What sound does cup begin with? K. What sound does cake begin with? K. So in that case, you are teaching them from their own environment. And I want all the parents with the 5, 6-year and even 7-year-olds who are in the first class, one of the classes, to do this with your children in your house. All right, so we go through the whole alphabet. I wouldn't go through it here. D says duh, duh. They trace D, they say the sound, they do it. L, this is I. I says I, and it's similar to in egg. So egg, and I. Some children mistake both sounds, so you have to sound it with them. Have patience. I, and the other one is e. When we come to G, some letters make 2 sounds. G says J and G says G. For now, we are teaching G says G. C also makes 2 sounds. C says S and C says K. So we are dealing with the K sound. Later on, when they progress, they will be coming on to the S and the J. No, O, A. And here you are seeing A as an orange, A as an owl, A as an octopus. So you are hearing the A sound there. And when you come to U, you are also hearing A as an umbrella, A as an up. X says X-ray will give you a X, and xylophone, X follow with a Y here. You have to let them know sometimes X have two sounds as well. Z, Xy, Z, and X. Z as in zebra and Z as in xylophone. So they write the X, they trace it, and they say the two. All right, so far for this one. Any questions, any comments? Are we good with this? So I could,
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Ms. Shoma,
Yep.
any questions here?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, good. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to a new screen. I am looking for screen number 2. Screen number 2. I have two screen mark number 2. This one marked 2 beginners. So we have A and T. So they have already done the alphabet. They know the sounds. And for those in school, Shoma, you go in your classroom, walk around and let the children identify the beginning sounds of things. A, T, and they will put it together. At, A, M, am, A, N. Yeah? And it's a beginning sound you will notice. A here is in the beginning. A, N, A, P, us. You have to do this, us. So they get this sound. And they will realize this have the same beginning sound. Now we have the vowel coming at the end here. They have done G, O, and here it's an O sound. This is a long O sound. The vowels have a short sound and a long sound. And you will tell them here, O says its name. With this one, O said ah, and you are introducing here. O says O in this one. Go, no, so. Sa, O, na, O, ga, O. They cannot say go, ah. They wouldn't get the word. So you have to actually teach this as it is. Any questions here?
No, miss.
Okay.
No, miss.
All right, let's go on. Be, he, she, thee. Now, when I start with B, it will be B-E, and not saying here they are spelling. And you have to tell the children the difference with sound and spell. So you tell the children here, we are sounding. When you go to O and A, you let them know we are sounding. So they learn what is sound. When they come here, we are spelling. We have to spell these. B-E will give us B, H-E, he, and you sound it, and you could as well spell it sh-e, the E. So you bring two letters together one time, and he and she, they could see the he here and the add the S, but you pronounce both together, sh. And we could spell and learn as well as we go along. You could start learning to spell B-E and B-E. And we could write it. When they're writing, and reading includes reading, writing, listening, and speaking. There are 4 components in reading. I will repeat them. Reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So they are listening to you or to I. They are listening. They are speaking. They are reading. And then they have to write. Do not rush your children. So when they do the first set with this set, they do these 3, or they do 1 according to their ability, and they write at 5 times. Now there's something called long-term and short-term memory. With short-term memory, if they just do it 3 times, it does not go to long-term memory in your brain. There's something called dendrites and something else, I can't remember the other word, in your brain that goes together to create a reaction. synapses and dendrites in your brain. And these go to your brain to form long-term memory if they do it at least 5 times. So when they are writing, they write and they say A, they write a T, they say T, and then they say at, A-T, at. Every time they spell A-T and they say at. They spell the word and say what it is. What I am noticing from teaching right now, a lot of children, we have words to spell. In book 1, parents would notice they have words in black and words with red. The words with black is to learn to spell and sing. When I ask them to spell the word, they're just spelling and they're not saying what the word is. So you have to make sure the children say, they spell and they say. They write and they speak. Okay? Then I have is and his. If you notice, these words are sort of family words. He and she and thee, they all go together. Is is and his. You have to spell these to get them. Now this here is a little bit tricky. As, come with this one and do its spelling. As, has, has, and was is was. If you try her as, then they will go with was, and they wouldn't get was. Was, they will say was. So it's was. Was. They spell the words, all right? Any questions here? No?
No, miss.
No, miss.
Alyssa? No? No, okay. So I'll go to the
No,
text.
miss.
PowerPoint 3, where are you? Hold on, I'm looking for it. I have it on my page here. 1, 2, 7, 2. I'm not seeing 3. Oh, here's 3. All right. We have it here. Now they have done the words by themselves. We have it here with a picture on. And we're not going to be, the next slide here, you have to tell them, let us say. You are going to use you, the parent or the teacher. Now the parent becomes the teacher in this case, okay? So you, the teacher, you will let them say, you say the sentence for them to use the word in context. It is on the table. Where is it? You could ask them and they will tell you it is on the table. You could ask them, where is the book? The book is on the table. They are not reading this. They are not reading this. They are speaking with you. One second. Yes, they are speaking with you. And you chat with them, you ask questions, and let them explain. You explain with them. Up, and I have a little picture here. She's going up, and you do this with this. You tell the child, it is up on the table. So we're using up and on. It is up. You ask a question and let your intonation comes in. Is it up? So the child learns to express him or herself at the same time. You ask a question, is it up? Help your child answer in a sentence. Always have children speak in sentences. Not just yes, but yes, it is up on the table. If you want your children to pass English in CXC, you better start using sentences with them from now. Please do. Us, get us up on the table. I do not sit up on the table. Get us to our home. These are some sentences, example of sentences you can use. And if you notice here, us, up, on, the. These are words we have done already. So you are using these words in sentences. All right, I establish and go to screen 4. Where is 4? Again, we have at, and as. Sentence. You review these words, these here are these, you review these, and then you go to use them in sentences. Where are you? You ask the child to say, I am at school. Another sentence I have here, I am at home. Where are we? We are at home. I have in, a new word introduced here, in. So again, I am in school. So they use I am and in. I am in a chair. Where are you? And you go around. You speak sentences with them. You talk with them to use these words. So they remember it. I am in a good chair. And then I have is, and it. You sound these for them. They spell these, they write these already. The ones they didn't write yet, they write them now. It, we do it. It is a chair. It is a good chair. It and is, they use it in sentences. Is it a chair? Yes, it is a chair. It is a good chair. And then I have if, but I didn't put any sentences with if. They just learn if. If. I want to stop here and have some feedback from parents here on using sentences with the children. How do you feel about this? Someone identify yourself. Yes, Leandros. Mom. Yes, mom.
Yeah. Christiana, I'm Leandro's mommy.
Yes,
okay.
love.
The idea of teaching, especially the it and the is and the if, repetitiously in sentences, really do help the students learn those words. If you leave them like you learn them, teach them it by rote and remotely, you know, they just see I, if, and it, it, and is. Yeah, if you ask them to spell it, but for identification, when you're running with these sentences in a passage, they still get trouble. I find, look up to now, I find Leandros is getting trouble with the us and the up. But with these sentences, like we do it repetitiously, it is a good chair. Is it a good chair? Yes, it is. And they see in the it is and the it is continuously, it really do help.
It's reinforcement, you call it.
Yes.
So when I had slide 2 up with on and up and stuff, it's just a beginning to get them warmed up. And then later on, I introduce the sentences. So it comes gradually. It's a process. Now, if Leandros is having a problem, you could join him from 10:30 class. Because this is what I start with the 10:30 class, these things.
No, I find he's going good. And
Okay,
like how we start, you see the I just think that you see he needed that continuous reading and somebody to read with him. And I find he is doing really, really good. I'll let her forgive me. I came home with a terrible headache. I ain't too long reach and I just lied down.
That's okay, sweetie. All right, this is slide 4. I'll go to slide 5. 5. Where is 5?
Thank you again.
Slide 5. I introduce we, and you have a lot of people. So when we talk about we, it's all of us, more than one of us. So you have to tell them the difference with I mean I alone, and we mean you and I, or more people. And we say we are. We remember we learned I am before. It is. We are learning now we are. And then I introduce the word in, even though they had in before, but to use it in this context now, we are in school. You ask them, where are you? Yes, here is the question, sorry. Are we in school? Yes, we are in school. Another sentence could have been in this slide. It's just, we are in school. Then be and he repeated. You see the repetition comes in, and now be and he, and I introduce a new word here, me. Me. And who refers to me? You refer to the child himself. I didn't make a sentence with this, but maybe I should. I'll go back and do that later on. Is he on the chair? He is in the chair. So we lose, is he on the? He is an in this sentence. He is in the chair. Yes, he is on the chair. So you try to use the words as much as possible so they get used to it. Then this is one slide, do not rush. It's a lot of concepts here. We had we are, he is, and now we have he and she are. And I underline and by, so they learn to spell these words and recognize them by themselves. These words were not included in the listing. So this is why they are here and underlined. They will learn it A and D. I did not want to introduce and the, but I, so they learn to spell these. You. This is an important one, and this gives trouble sometimes. So I ask a question. Are you a good child? Are you? Yes, you are. And you bring in something nice for the child here. You are a good child. And you could go to town with this. It's a value you are adding, that the child is a good child. Always tell your children something good. Please do not tell your children anything negative. Your child is a good child no matter what. Correct your child nicely. Then we have the, and you spell here, T-H-E. They are learning more and more words they met before, but the repetition is important here for reading when they have to read later on. The book is on the table, and then we have the last one, our. I have here, it is our chair. You are in our chair. You could also add, we are in our chair. We are in our school. So you could make up sentences using these words again. Any questions here? Anybody wants to comment?
Good afternoon, Miss. This is Jelani and Aria's mom, Alisa.
Yes.
Well, I noticed the difference between my two children, although they are 4 years apart. Have a better foundation, I should say, as to how she pronouncing her words. She will actually sound it out with a word that she never seen before, and she will watch it, and she will pronounce each letter in the way that she was taught. And with Jelani, he might just watch the word. He don't, I don't know if he don't analyze, he don't watch the word, he just pronounce something. Whether it's wrong or it's right, he just say it. And I will tell him, I'll say, I will underline, I will sound it out. I say, if I would give you trouble, I say, you know, you have to break the word up in syllables. And you have to try to pronounce the letters. I say, every word, not the way it's spelled, is the way it's sound.
Right.
So I try to go, you know, I try to at least to reach out to him in that way, but at least he getting a little concept, but I know he have to do much better being in standard 4. So I just want to thank you so much for even getting this extra class, and even for myself as a parent to assist all.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Well, I finished with slide 5, so I will go to slide 6 now. Thank you, babes. Slide 6.
No problem, Miss.
All right. So we come back with with the same words we did before. We did go, so, and no, and we come back here with it. Because one time telling the child is not sufficient. This is why I have it repeated. So here I ask, are we in the park? No, we are at home and in school. Now notice the kind of sentence I put here. Are we in the, and you have a park and you have a picture of the park. And then no, we are at home and in school. So the sentences that I wrote here are pertinent to the words we are doing and the ones we have done in previous lessons. Reinforcement and repetition is very, very important in the beginning stages of reading. I have another sentence. No, we are at school and in our home. So again, we have, except school and home, all these other words, the children would have been familiar with it already. And then I introduce not. Here I introduced a new word, N-O-T, not. Let them spell this word. It's no ought, but they have to learn to spell it because we didn't teach two sounds, these two sounds coming together. We are not in the park. We are not on the table. We are on the chair. So they are understanding the difference with not and on. We are not on the table. We are on the chair. So they understand what this not means. Then I have another sentence. Again, using not, because it's a new word. I have two set of slides with the word not. She and thee and he, a lot of repetition. She and he are in school. So here you're introducing some grammar as well. Do you notice that? Without telling them you are teaching grammar, you are actually teaching grammar. She and he are. You have here, he is, we are. This is grammar we are teaching. So when our children learn to speak correctly, they will write correctly. We are by the table at our school. We are not in the park. We are not by the chair. We are not on the table. And this is slide 6 by now. So we could do a little more work with them. So I have here some words with same ending sound, N-O-T, and they could say n-ot. Now we don't teach them n-ot. It's n-ot. O-T gives one sound, ot. I am having problems with children using the 3 sounds and not getting the word correct. So when they learn those that are cling together, ot, n-ot, and they say all these sounds, her ot, they're just not going to tell you not, hot, jot, got. N-ot, her ot, j-ot, go-ot, and they go on till they reach the end of it. And then I introduce the word do. And you notice here, you can't say the or. You have to spell. You have to spell the word. Do we go to the park? We do not go to the park. We do not go to the park. We go to school. We do. So you see they are using we and do here. Then I introduce the word get. Remember, they are getting familiar with sounds and spelling by now. So you could get into more little details. G-E-T, get, go, et. This is E-T gives us et sound. What sound do we get with E-T? Et, et. Go, et, get. G-E-T, get. And every new word in these slides, your child must have one book for writing them down. So they could go back and look at it and read from it. So you have sentences again. these sentences using the word. I have them here in 3 set of sentences. So by the time you chat and talk with them on these sentences, they will get the understanding of it. Then I have has. You have to spell it. You don't say her as. They wouldn't get it. H-A-S, has, H-A-S, has, and they read and they write it. Now he has, she has. I didn't use it has, but you could use it has, the pan has, the table has, the chair has, whatever. And here you have the singular, so they understand. So these things come with a, you don't tell them about verbs and adjectives, but they are learning it as they go along. Has he a book? He has no book. So we always say he has, she has. So they learn to pick up these things very early through speaking. Then I introduce have. H-A-V-E. I introduced this to preschool 4-year-old children, and they were able to understand it well and understand and move on. Have, H-A-V-E, have. This word is have. Come on, let us spell have together, and you spell with the child. Then let us make some sentences. We have a book. So you see, they say we have here. Before was he has. Now we say we have. Do you have? I have. So we introduce here, we have, you have, I have. Without telling them you are doing grammar at the same time. They are learning to speak, they are learning to use these words. By, B-Y, they have to spell again. T-O, they have to spell. T-O, no, you wouldn't get it. T-O, D-O, B-Y. And they are using the words in sentences here. And this is the big last one for this. All right, any feedback here?
Me.
Yes.
With respect to teaching the preschoolers, for example, this last slide, do we do all the sentences or maybe one at a time?
Oh, good question. Please do not use all of this in one lesson, please. So you could go this one, this one, this one in one lesson because they know these words already. And then you just do this one. Are we in the park? No. So because we did we and are before, and just this one. No, we are in school. No, we are at school and in the park. This is it. No more for today.
Yeah, I understand that. I was just thinking that, say for some of the slides, right, there are a lot of sentences for them to go through like one time. I was wondering if we should break it up like into 2.
Do it as a chat. Have a chat with them.
Okay.
These sentences are a guide to guide the teacher. And you now, after you do your words, forget about the slide maybe, but you have an idea here what you are going to talk about. And you chat with the children. Where are you? I am in the chair. I am on the chair. Does that help?
Yes, that sounds good too. And also we could also encourage them to make their own sentences like during circle time, etc. Yeah.
Yes. The thing is, you will have an integrated curriculum. You may have the body, parts of the body coming in. You may have things from your social studies, things that is happening around you. You're not teaching social studies, you're not teaching science separately, but you are using things that will be meaningful. You are saying things, chatting about meaningful things with them. You get that?
Yes, understood. Thank you.
Okay, good. Please, parents, feel free to ask your questions, okay? This is where you are getting help, to help the children. All right, I have the last little one for this set. Now, this is just a simple one I wrote. After they do the first 6 slides, and they learn to talk and they learn to say, they are saying these words. They would have known most of these words already. So the new words here is bag and mat and sat. So you teach these, bag, B-A-G, bag. You teach ma'at, sa'at, and they learn the new words. This is just introducing now, sounding out and learning new words. He is in the mat, and it has a lot of repetition here using mat, and mat 3 times and bag once. Again, simple things, rat and mat, she and the. This is just to let them start reading. And you could have your own little reading sentences you could make up for them to learn to read. Here you have, I introduce here the ad sound. Dad, sad, lad, mad, had. So they are using this to see, just to get them to start to read. All right, any questions here? Your children may have reading books that you recommend for them to read, or the teachers recommend, sorry. And you could use their reading books in a similar manner to help them. All right. So far for the slides are finished. And I have a reading book, book 1. Some of you, your children are in book 1. Some of you here, your children are on slides. Ms. Shoma, you have 2 children in your school. Amari's reading book 1 as well, finished book 2. She started book 1 and went on to book 2 and almost completed book 2 with me. And they were my inspiration in doing this that I am doing today. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to teach them, Ms. Shoma.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Look at this. We start with A and B. They know A and they know B. Let them know when we put A and B together, we get ab. So we have K-ab, and we go down the list, G-ab, J-ab, etc. They must say both sounds in learning to read. K-ab, D-ab, G-ab, and they go on. They just don't say kab, dab, gab, because when they're ready to read, honey, they're making mistakes. So when they learn to sound it, when they reach the reading passage, and they don't know the words, they could sound the 2 parts and get it out. Now the words in black is spelling. They would have had the middle row already. Some here, but the words for and got, a lot of children get in trouble with got and get. And they try to sound got and they cannot get it out. So they are going to spell G-O-T, got, ot, got. This one is get, get, but they will sound and they will spell. They have to spell nice and thank and you and boy and kind. Now the words in black are in the lesson itself. That's why they are in the table. So they learn this part, the table, they say it, and then we go on to read. They read the passage, and if you notice, it's mainly 3-letter words, and then we have nice, kind, and thank you. Now, why did I write here? It is nice to be kind, thank you. We want to teach children good manners. I am in what is called the Sathya Sai Institute of Education, West Indies, and we control the West Indies, the countries in the West Indies that follow and work with us to improve human values. It's called Education in Human Values. And I try to put a little bit of the values in the lessons we are reading. So children grow up being kind and being helpful. Now, the last question here is for you, the parent. I am not doing the questions with the children when I'm teaching them now because it will take too much time. Here, the reading passage will include comprehension. And you, the parent, or if I was in a regular classroom, I would be doing the comprehension with the children. You use the passage for comprehension. And here's a question. What kindness would you like to do? So you chat with your child about being kind and let them know that they could do good things. When you help somebody, it's kindness. So what kindness could you do? Make a tab with your friend and thank him. So you see the values coming in here. Please let us have our children growing up with proper values. And from AB, we go to AD. All this, and again, we have Y introduced here. You have to spell these now, okay? So they learn to sound those in red, and they spell in black. Happy and now. So they read the lesson with you. You talk and you chat about it. What is a lab? What is a tab? We have cab. Get the meaning of these words. Let them use it. Make a little lab in your house with them. They could have toys in their lab. They could have anything in their lab they choose to put. And here's my question. Be nice to him before we that. Let us make him happy now. Be nice to him. He is happy now. How can you make someone happy? How do you feel when you are sad? Why is it good to be nice? These are values we add into our children's lives, and we are training them to be decent people. So if you notice, I had A, B, A, D, now I have A, G, AG. And we want to hear, let me go back up a little bit. A lot of children get trouble with D and B. And this is called, this line here is the stem. So when you are in the first reading lesson, A, B, you teach B. B has a stem and then a belly behind. It's like a belly behind. So the stem is at the front. A lot of children I notice have problems with that, B and D. And then when you come to D, D has the stem at the back and the belly at the front. I got that from a teacher who told me that when I was doing training with the teachers. So we have to hear the D sound, the B sound come in, and the G sound here, G. All right, and please pay attention to how they sound and sound properly. M, and if you notice, I have Bam and Pam, Sam, Ram, and Tam. You let them know names begin with capital letters. That's the reason for putting and making up some names here, for example, Bam. The others are names. And what you will notice is that the lessons have words from the previous lessons. For example, I see bag here, bag, lo-ad, we have got, we have can. I wonder if I have can here. No, I don't have the word can. I'm not sure if, and I underline some words here, and the words that I underline here is for, it's like new words they have to learn. After is an. You notice it is in alphabetical order as well. I want to stop here. Any questions?
No, ma'am, it's all good.
Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. So I try my best to include the new words in black and the ones to sound in red. And that's the reason for having the red and the black. So I can move on. And if you notice, pan, I have, again, there are words from previous lesson in every lesson. So the children get a nice repetition of it. Up, and then P, R, PQRS, maybe, or T, at. Now some sound letters, you can't put them together to sound. And this is why you have some left out. At, again, if we look here, this is at, and you have jam and mat, but fat cat, I am, I gave. And then we go to E. Again, it is in alphabetical order. Again, you have words that are repeated like and we and happy and whatnot. And I could change some of this word from, children keep saying for. So I will come here and change this to from. So they could see it more often. So this lesson have from, and it has for. They have to spell, and they make mistakes with these. They say for when it's from, and they don't know it's from. So you have to be patient with them. And parents, please be patient with your children when you're teaching them. They may put their head away from the book, but have patience. And I really have to have patience teaching these two classes, because I have to wait on them, I have to wait on parents. So you have more patience than me, please. EG, and I have egg, EGG, and it's in black because it's no longer EG, but it's egg. Like per egg, you get peg, egg, they don't say egg, it's EGG, egg. Or they may want to say egg, they could go ahead. All the lessons that follow are similar. After I do the full set of E's, I went to I. And again, I start it's alphabetical. Id, B, it did, and D, it did. And I deliberately put the two together, D and B, B and D. So they had learning at the same time, the difference with B and D. And if we look at this lesson, let's say it has get, go, et, it has kid, dad, bed. So you have some sounds from previous lessons included in all the lessons. I think that was egg, ill, ill. L says ill. This one gives a little bit of trouble, but you have to have patience, as I see. Sir ill, ter ill, were ill. And they spell those in black. Im, very easy one. Ip, it, and then we go to O. Again, it's using the short vowel sounds here. I will probably have another session some other time with the long vowel sounds and work with it. I have them here to open up. I don't know how much patience you have, but let's do as much as we can today. So ab, and they sound ma, ab, na, abra, ab, sa, ab. Don't go fast like me. C-O-R-N, and they spell again. And you find some words repeated in black, but that's all right. That's for the children to learn them well. Am I going too fast?
No, miss.
Oh. Oh, you're getting an sound right through. All right. But now you come to and you're getting an sound again. So one of the slides we had previously in the PowerPoint told us that O and U gives a. So they learn ab, ab. It sounds just like the O. So you have to tell them it sounds just like the O. Yeah? There wasn't many with U that I could have added. G. It's no longer OG, but these are spelled with UG. And they learn to spell and write again. All the time, reading, writing, spelling come together. All, remember we had ill, now we have all. On. And when they are doing this book, please try to have them sound the one in red as one sound. It makes it easier for them later on when they have to read bigger words. When they see on, they automatically know it's on and not no. They will be able to say it easily. They'll be able to read better. And then at the end of the book, I have learned to spell and say these words. And these are words more or less, a few are different, but these are words that they should know by now. That's the end of book 1. I will go on to book 2. Since we'll do book 2 one time, we have time. I could finish this. I have book 2, I have book 3. Do we go on? Do we stop?
I am okay.
Are we all okay with going on?
Yes, miss, I'm okay with it.
Let's finish up today now, so we don't have to come back. How about that?
No problem, miss.
To make time is difficult for me sometimes. So since we are here, and let me see how many people do we have. All those parents who say they're interested, they're not here now. Too bad for them. You know, it's your child who will benefit. So what I did here is introduce blends in book 2. So we have again ab, the same sound ab, but then you have fl and sl. So you have to let your children know FL gives one sound, fl, SL gives one sound, sl, cr. Some children watch this and they tell them cab. So I have to tell them it's cr. Say cr, ab. We want to hear the r sound. Dr, gr, sk, and st. By the time they have finished with book 1 and we go on, I'm not having problems teaching from this book. I have a class with this book as well. And here it gets a little more, not complicated, but a little more work for the children to do. So you have to teach the blends. It's called blends. These in black at the front here. It's called blend. And I don't always have blends with the words. For example, I have here roak, poak, jack, single words at the front, but this is a 3-letter blend, ak. You're hearing AK, you're not hearing the C. It's the C here is silent. So we have the vowel A, and CK will give us K, A, K. And you have to teach that. You have simple words with 1 letter sound per, r, s, t. But then it comes with blends. Let us blend now, children. Come on. Bl, ak, st, ak, and they come down the line. Tr, sh, w, sm. They learn these different sounds, and they learn these words. They spell these words, they say these words. These are the words in the lesson. Again, they get the add sound. Remember book 1, they had add and they had some of these words. Now we have Brad and Chad, cl add, gl add, sh add. And this entire book 2 is similar. Single words, and then you have br, dr, fl, st. It's a lot of repetition again, using these blends, so it becomes easier for them. All right, I want to go to, we have 3-letter sound, and, A-N-D, and, we're hearing and. So we are not saying ban, we are saying band. We are pronouncing the D at the end. We have to say it properly. Ang, the N is silent, ang. It's a nasal sound you get. Whereas with M, you get a different sound. Anka, and they have sounds again. E, again, it's in alphabetical order, E-D. This is ash, E-D, and we go down the line. Your children stay long enough, I'll be working with this with them. Im, if you notice, in is a different sound. It's a dental sound, in, and im is 2 different parts of your mouth you use to say it. Im, they close the mouth, in, they open the mouth. And im and in come one after the next, so they get that. I, ish, sh gives sh, ish, is. This one is is, her is, ka is, ma is, bla is, wa ish. So I had 2 sets of sounds coming in the same lesson. And by now they will be able to do this. We had Zoel. Zoel is not 5 yet, whom I taught. And what page is this? This is page 27. And she was able to do all of this. She didn't reach page 27 with me. School closed. But her mom continued with her. Ot, ow. Just 1 second. Awk, on, ow, owl. Here we have ow and owl, owl. And un. So again, M and N comes in here, and they would have been familiar with that previously. Oil and ool. This one might be a little tricky, and you have to have patience a lot here. Oil, ba-oil, ka-ool, O-I-L. And here you have O-O-L, ool. Stress the oo, oo. Or, this one say oil. This one say oo. So you have O making two sounds here. So when you're teaching, you emphasize that. This one have 3 set of sounds, and by now they should be able to pick up these things. It should become easier for them. Boo, coo, moo, food, ood, oo and ood, ook and od, ok. So you see double O, 2 O's, and they say these words, they learn to spell these words, took. A lot of children mistaken took and look when they are reading. So then you have to say, come on, sound it. Took, look. We had took in book 2, book 1, sorry. Any questions here with this one? You, uk. Again, the C is silent. You're in k. So you tell them it's silent. But when we are writing, we have to write it. And it would be wise for them to write the words in order to learn and remember. Ug, and ump. So they say and they say ump. Un and unch. See, so here you introduce the sound. CH says ch, unch, bunch, hunch, fun, un. But we have more words here, letters here. So we get another word, other words. And SH is sh. CH is ch. You have to teach it by itself, ch. And you have to teach sh. And from the blends, they would have come across this already. And again, we have vocabulary at the end of the book for them to use. Any questions here? No? Ms. Shoma?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. I have book 3, which your children are not into yet, which I have sent for you all, and in the hope that you will keep it safe to use it with your children at some point in time. Where is book 3? Book 2. Apparently I didn't open book 3. Hold on, please. All right, just hold 1 second. I have to get book 3. I didn't open book 3. I cannot minimize Zoom when I am recording. Stop recording.